Good afternoon, YouTube. It's actually morning where I'm at, but good afternoon. What are we looking at today? Well, we're looking at a klipsch speaker, and it's way taller than my video will get in. And to be honest with you, I can't get it any closer to me, and I can't get it any further apart, just the way my office is designed. So, I mean, if I stand up, sometimes my camera follows me, but I don't have it set that way right now. That's a Tractrix horn from the klipsch two-way RF7lll speaker. Tractrix horn. What is the specs on the Tractrix horn? It's an 1 3/4 titanium diaphragm compression driver with a Tractrix horn. So it's a little bit more to it. Anyway, that's right here. You can see that. And it's got a huge, now my little unit's working. It's got a huge cone coming out for probably soundstage, I would say. Anyway, some more of the specs on this, because some guys like specs, some guys don't like specs, but some of these specs are actually really important in this speaker. And specs are important, but they're not the end-all be-all of everything, okay? So the frequency response of this speaker is 32 hertz, so that's as low as it can go, but it's also plus or minus 3 dB, so it could go lower and it might not go as low. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say, now that the speakers are broken in, it's probably lower. Do I measure speakers? No. Do I care country of origin? No. These are designed in Hope, Arkansas. They are walnut in color. You can't really see that. I don't really want to rotate it. It is a 97-pound speaker. It was enough just to get it up on my stand so that we could all see it. You know what I mean? Like, you should be able to see that Tractrix horn now that I stand up. See my upside down ohms thing? I always put that in upside down. I try and make it a conversation piece. You'd be surprised how many people don't even know what it is. Omega. The alpha, the omega, the ohm symbol. Okay, that gets to my next one. Nominal impedance. 8 ohms compatible. Most speakers just say 8 ohms, 4 ohms, or 6 ohms on the back of them. Not this one, 8 ohms compatible. I don't know what it says on the back of that speaker, but this is AI. So AI ain't bullshitting me, because it's taking it from 47 different sources. So that's Facebook, that's this, combed the whole internet, got whatever I needed. Anyway, 98 dB efficient. I always thought they were 105, but whatever. At 1 meter, power handling is the most important part of this discussion, is going to be the power handling. And that is 250 watts continuous. Is that what it likes? Is that what it needs? No. And it is good up to 1,000 peak. So that's pretty cool. How the hell am I going to get it up to 1,000 peak without blowing my windows out? I have no idea. Or possibly damaging the speakers. Once again, I have no idea. But who cares? So crossover frequency is 1,300 hertz. It's a bass reflex with dual rear firing Tractrix ports. If I could turn it around, it has 2 Tractrix ports. One of my dislikes on this is they put so much emphasis on the 8000F Mark IIs with the binding posts and stuff like that. They were all made of, like, I don't know, some fancier stuff. I don't know if it was aluminum or whatever, but I don't know. Still on the back of these are plastic, but whatever. It's still all right. It still fits in my great speaker cables, you know, and that's fine. These are way bigger than an 8000 or an 8000 Mark II. 8000F. I screwed that up on my last video. There were some comments about that, and I like the comments. That's why I do this. I like comments. I like interaction with people. As a 50-year-old guy, I don't know, man. I kind of avoid people. You know what I mean? I don't need the negative shit in this world. I don't mind negative comments because I don't know who you are. But if I've got people around me and they're just negative all the time, I don't want to be around them. I just don't. Recommended amplifier, 20 watts to 250 watts. Can I agree with this? It all depends on the amplifier. It all depends on the amplifier, I'll tell you right now. Because these are not exactly designed the way the Heritage line is designed. Are they designed to, you know, sound good at low level listening? 100% they are. 100% they are. So let's go to what I tested them on. Okay, the first test was, holy shit, it's Christmas. They finally showed up. So let's hook them up to the NAD. The NAD has got an amp, it's got a streamer, it's got all this. It's the C700 model, 80 watts per channel, peaks out at 120. It's powered by Class D. The moment I hooked them up a year ago, I knew that they needed break-in. There was some sound that, you know, wasn't 100% klipsch to me. But well, it was klipsch, but it was, you know, I knew it needed break. I know speakers, so I know they need break-in. Whether you believe me or not is subjective. But anyway, I played the shit out of these speakers on that NAD on repeat for 3 days. 3 days. And at low level listening, I just wanted everything to move. Just wanted everything to move, like this to move, that to move, the compression driver to move, even if it was just at low level, sorry. Anyway, I probably got 75 hours on them, and then when I moved them into different scenarios and tested them on different products, I would have a better idea, you know what I mean? I guess it's called patience. Even though it was Christmas morning and I was like, oh my God, I gotta hook these up to my big integrated amp. Well, didn't do that right away. Hooked them up to my RZ50 because the RZ50 has a klipsch crossover setting. The RZ50 will not bring out the full speaker. It won't. You can argue with me. Doesn't matter. It won't do it. It's great for home theater because the dynamics of home theater goes front to back, side to side, this and that and the other thing, and it's sending amperage and voltage and, you know, different things to different parts of the system. So it might sound good in a home theater, but it won't maximize or give you the full definition or the full experience of this speaker. Just won't. End of story. Even in complete stereo mode with the 120 watts of Class D power that the Onkyo RZ50 is doing. Do I think the RZ7lll would do better? I think it would do this much better. That's about it. Simply because it's only 140 watts. You know what I mean? I think maybe the Pioneer VSX LX 805 would maybe do a bit better, but it got some bad reviews and I never bought one. And I stick with my 505. I then moved the speaker into my home theater system downstairs, and I only use the front 2 channels. I moved the, you know, the remote to stereo, and it has a huge power amp hooked up to it. It's a Summit Hi-Fi. It's an 11 channel. It's 350 watts per channel on the 2 fronts, well, the 3 fronts, but you can shut the center channel off, which is also a klipsch speaker. Imagine that. I think it's a 504. I use JBLs there, really big 15-inch JBLs there. They're pretty nice. They're pretty old, but they're pretty nice. You know what? It's the source. It's the bloody source. So, you know, when guys are talking about streamers online, or they're talking about, you know, Bluetooth online, or they're talking about whatever online with regards to, you know, your record player, your phono stage, your CD player, the DAC that comes with your CD player, your separate DAC, which is a digital to analog converter. I mean, they're not really bullshitting you, because that is part of the source. It's part of the chain, you know? And I'm not talking about a Fleetwood Mac song. I'm talking about the chain of the source. So, like, I don't care if you have a Weem streamer. I don't care if you have a NAD streamer. I don't care if you have a Hi-Fi Rose streamer. Those are sources. CD players are sources. SACD players are sources. The FM band on a tuner is a source. I don't recommend it to anybody, but it's a source nonetheless. They got some comparisons on these speakers, like off Grok here, the JBL HDI 3800, the Bowers & Wilkins 702 S3, the Focal Area 948. I think the SVS Titan should have been included in this, but the truth is what are you comparing? What are you comparing? Are you comparing apples to apples? No. You're comparing a two-way speaker that's built a lot like the 8000F, not the Mark II, just the F, the original 8000, but bigger and more refined in the top side. The middle is a little bit more refined. I had a comment the other day on one of mine, and he says, oh, I don't like klipsch speakers, they're built cheap. Okay, well, that's your opinion. Because we're all entitled to one. I don't think there's anything cheaply made about this. Like, there has been some complaints about the crossover, and I have looked into the crossover with Danny and with research, GNR research there. And that's $1,000 a speaker to do that. So that'll up the value of the speaker, but will it, you know, the law of diminishing returns, would I get $1,000 more for these speakers because I did a whole bunch of work with GR researches? Like, that would just be subjective, and that would be my decision in order to do it. Do I think I need to do it? Not right now. No. They're still on warranty, and they sound frickin' great. Okay, where else did I move them? And what did I figure out when I moved them? Okay. I actually figured it out when I had them on my AVR with my power amp. But when I moved them to my integrated system, which is leaps and bounds better built than any AVR out there, because it's an integrated amplifier that's paired with a preamplifier that I might have a CD player in there as well as a source. And of course I have a streamer in there, and I have a record player in there, and none of it is entry level, you know. You might call it mid-fi. It's the flagship of a product, and it has 220 watts per channel, and it is class A-B. So from class A, she goes 0 to 50 watts, and then you start going into class B. Class A is warm. The amplifier itself is very warm. It's a warm amplifier. It'll play up to 24-bit. What the hell is it? 190. 24-bit, 44. Those numbers, just whatever. 16-bit on a CD sounds spectacular, and you can barely hear the difference. But when you're streaming, you're streaming. And you know what? We're all frickin' streaming today. Why? Because we all have a phone. So you're streaming. I'll tell you right now, if you're streaming and you're getting bored, buy a record player. Play some records. You'll get more involved intimately in your music, and it'll be amazing. Anyway, what kind of music does this sucker like? Okay, first of all, I didn't finish what I was about to say. These crave power. They crave power. Power. These suckers will dip down below 4 ohms. They'll go down to 3.5, looking for power, hunting for power. The fire-breathing dragon that klipsch says they are looking for power. So, it's like you and me. The more work we do, the more ditches we dig, the more food we need to eat. It's the same as this. This inanimate object wants more power. It just wants more power. Does it sound good at low levels? Whew, you bet it does. At 6 watts, this thing sounds spectacular. But at 200 watts? Holy shit sandwich, Batman. She's awake. What does she like? What does she like to consume? What does this speaker like to consume? Well, I'll tell you right now, it'll consume any audiophile track you give it. I'll give you some examples. I played Diana Krall, just like I mentioned in my 8000. I played Nora Jones. I played Dire Straits. I've played everything on these speakers, so I don't know if there's anything bad that's ever come out of these. Some old noisy records, you know, that are probably too old to play. They don't necessarily sound that great, but they got a lot of hiss and snaps and crackles and pops. But, you know, and anything that isn't mastered very well, well, that sounds like shit on everything. So it doesn't really matter. These excel at electronica. Like, out of all the music in the world that these excel at, it's electronica. So like if you're like into rap or anything like that, these speakers are gonna dominate your shit. You know what I mean? Rock and roll, oh my, I think they have a V curve. They're designed for rock and roll. Do you think Klipsch is so stupid that they don't know how to build a crossover at a decent price with decent products to create a certain sound that their clients want to procure? And what I mean by that is this brand of speakers is sold and sold and sold and sold and sold and sold and sold some more. So that's people's ears telling them that they like klipsch. People might say, oh, klipsch sucks. You know what I mean? I've seen that 150 times. Well, I'll tell you what, if you like a neutral speaker, this ain't it. If you like a KEF, R Meta, whatever speaker, then go with the KEF, man. Go with the KEF, because it's neutral. To me, it's boring. It's dry. It's clinical. I mean, the last place I want to be is in a hospital bed listening to a KEF. Not that KEFs are bad. KEFs play a role in certain people's lives that are like complete audiophiles, and they just love that clinical sound, you know, because KEFs are great. I mean, I've listened to them. They are like clear and beautiful, but that's not what I want. However, these do give that to you. Like Nora Jones is great. Christelle Asilo is great. I can't pronounce her name, but she's just freaking fabulous. Billie Eilish, I mentioned that in my 8,000 video. Billie Eilish has more bass than any heavy metal band around. Maybe Pantera. Walk. You know that song? But Billie Eilish, Bad Boy, I mean, play that on any pair of klipsch and then drop it in the comments. Holy shit, I listened to Billie Eilish, Bad Boy, and it's insane. Well, I already know that, but by all means, do it. Drop it, because I'll be like, fuck yeah, man, you're 100% right. Billie Eilish, Bad Boy. And that's an audiophile track. You know, audiophiles drinking wine, feeling fine, having a good time, watching and listening to their VU meters and listening to their gear and listening to Billie Eilish. Ratchets by Hedegaard, I don't know. This speaker just looks back and smiles. Actually, it's supposed to breathe fire back at you, not smile, because she's supposed to be called the fire-breathing dragon. So, what do you say to that? I don't know. This speaker will play anything you want to give it, but it's a two-way speaker, so comparing it to something else is tricky. You can't even compare it to the Heritage line, because those are three-way speakers. You just can't. But you can, but you can't. Klipsch is a klipsch sound. You either have to like klipsch or you don't like klipsch, so you go somewhere else. But for me, I have three-way klipsch speakers, I have two-way klipsch speakers, and I have klipsch subwoofers, and I have klipsch, you know, I'm a klipsch guy. I don't know. I've got some Polk Audios. I've got some Paradigms. I got some JBLs. I got some of this. I got some of that. I got some of this. And all speakers, they have their strong points, and they have their weak points too. Like, without a three-way, they always say that you're missing a bit about a mid-range. Well, I'll be honest with you. If you listen to Invincible by Tool, that's a mid-range masterpiece. It's all bass guitar and six string and drums, and so you're going in between the mids and the sub bass, and the mids and the sub bass, and the mids and the sub bass, and this just dynamically handles it like nobody's problem, nobody's issue. It's a masterpiece, you know. Is it the best speaker in the world? No. Are there better speakers? Yes. Of course there is. These are $5,000 a pair. There's speakers out there that are $250,000 a pair. I've listened to Bowers & Wilkins 801 D4s. I like these better. I don't know. I'm a klipsch guy. There's not much I can really say. Anyway, if you like the video, if you like my, I don't know, cowboy way of looking at things, because that's all I am. I'm a Harley riding, music listening to cowboy, really. And I like these speakers. And everyone always said, you know, like my buddy, he sent me that information on Friday, and he says, you know, it sounds really good on the RF7lls, man. And I'm like, what's that? And he sends me a picture of Deep Purple Machine Head. What did I do Friday night? Listen to Deep Purple Machine Head. Have I heard that before? Absolutely. Have I heard it on these speakers? No, actually I hadn't. And it sounded really good. I just texted him back. Sounded frickin' great. Now download Made in Japan. Live. Listen to the whole album. That'll keep you occupied for most of Saturday. And I don't know. He responded with a kind of a giggle. These will play anything you want. But if you're looking for a neutral speaker, this isn't it. But if you're looking for fun, and you're looking for pure enjoyment, and you got a big, powerful amp, like I said before, these will look back at you and smile or breathe fire. One of the two. Klipsch RF7lll by VSP. Progressive Hi-Fi, the Viking. Anyway, you guys have a good weekend.